Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Sports lovers around the world, my name is Oladimiji Oladele, and you're watching us here at the Redeem Sports at the King's Palace in Katy, Texas. We will be discussing today Super Bowl 57 happening in the city of Phoenix, Arizona, between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Unfortunately today, my usual co-host, Tony Badger, is unavailable. We sure will miss you today. But in his absence, we have two very good friends of mine that will be rivals today, supporting their fans or supporting their clubs. To my right is a Kansas City Chiefs fan, Mr. Henry Abai.
How about them Chiefs? Let's go run it back.
We're ready to roll. Are you excited for today's game? The game starts in a few hours.
You can tell. It's that time of the year.
There you go. I see your hat. I see your shirt. I mean, you're ready to go. Awesome. To my left, needs no introduction. The Philadelphia Eagles fan. He's a diehard fan, Mr. Ade Adebote.
Go Eagles!
It's happening live today here at the Redeem Sports at the King's Palace in Katy, Texas. We're excited to talk Super Bowl 57 happening in the city of Phoenix, Arizona. Please go nowhere. We're ready to talk some football. Go nowhere, and we'll be right back after the short break.
It's Family Week 2023 at the Redeemed Christian Church of God the King's Palace, beginning with Family Banquet on Valentine's Day, February 14, 2023, at 6 p.m. at the Pavilion. All generations in the church are invited to Family Banquet, a night full of relaxation, fun, fellowship, and food. On Wednesday, the children and the teenagers shall take to the sports arena at 6 p.m. with dads, moms, and everyone having a great time at the sports arena. We are back in Sanctuary on Thursday for a 4-day power conference beginning with Shiloh Hour at 7 p.m. on Thursday 16th and a power night on Friday 17th of February 2023. The marriage class is virtual and scheduled for 12 noon on Saturday, February 18th. The grand finale is on Sunday, February 19th at 9 a.m. for the first service and 10 a.m. for the second service. The Lord is set to make a way in the wilderness and make rivers flow in the deserts as all the families at the King's Palace come together in fellowship and prayers with messages from the throne of God. All events will be streaming live on our social media platforms. Gather all the members of your family for a divine encounter. Ministering is Pastor Tunde Badru and other anointed servants of God. Host pastors are Pastors Tunde and Shadi Badru. Jesus is Lord.
Welcome back, sports lovers. This is the Redeem Sports at the King's Palace, where we're talking Super Bowl 57 happening in the city of Scottsdale, Arizona. You know, this Super Bowl is so special because for so many reasons, particularly to me, for me, two reasons. This is the first time that we're having two black quarterbacks starting in a Super Bowl. And this is also the first time you're having two brothers playing against each other in the Super Bowl. So we're ready to rock and ready to roll. Mr. Henry, I'm going to ask you this first question. You know, traditionally, a lot of African parents, right, deter or stop their children from playing, especially their boys, from playing the game of football. Just because of the injuries that over the time we've seen or we've heard of. What's your take about that? Would you advise parents, again, this is just to level set before we go into the rivalry between the Chiefs and the Eagles. What's your take on parents, especially of African descent, that the children really want to play football? They like the game of football, but unfortunately their parents say, you know what, there's a lot of injuries, and undoubtedly so. It's true, like their head injuries, sometimes post the game, many years after the game, and sometimes just even during the game, right? What are your thoughts around that, parents not allowing the children to play the sports that they love, particularly football?
I would say it's understandable so, especially the mothers. Every mother sees their child playing a physical game. Football is a physical game, which any physical game with a contact game always results in, some of them result in injury. Mm-hmm. But one thing I advise our parents to know is that The NFL has put in so much safety things into this just to make this game we love so much safer. They research so much on, especially the helmets. You see the helmets that they wear, there's so much technology that goes into the helmets. They're spending so much money in it, so much dollars has been back into it just to make it as safe as possible. And also, you wouldn't believe that on the field on the day of the game, there are more than 30 medical staff standby there on ground there, ready to take care of any situation there. And also, they've spent so much money in developing the game at the grassroots level. They start from the elementary school. They start teaching these kids how to play the game the right way and the safe way. By tackling, what we say right way and safe way, they teach them how to tackle below, not above. That's trying to eliminate a lot of this head injury. And also, they're trying to make the game so that they will start by flag football. That's what NFL is trying to encourage now. They want this football to start at the high school level, so that elementary level will start playing just flag football. That way you can eliminate a lot of those contacts in the game. Also, they always what you call a mandatory brain scan technology that they're going on now. That it is mandatory that they scan every contact that's a concussion. The concussion, they have to go through scanning, understand? So those are some of the things that NFL is putting into the system to try to make this game we love so much safe for everybody.
Thank you very much, Henry. Ade, what do you think? Should African parents, especially African parents, allow their children, their sons, to play football? And what have the NFL done? I mean, he said quite a lot of things that the NFL has done to make sure the game is safe. But what are your thoughts?
So,
you have two boys.
I totally agree with him. NFL has done a lot. And from my perspective, I think that notion is changing with African parents. I'm a big football fan. I watch from high school football to college football. When you look at college football now, I can guarantee you on every college team, there are at least 2 Nigerian names.
You're right.
I can guarantee you that. And even in our church right now, when I go to my youth church, I have tons of teenagers who are playing football and their parents are supporting them. They also play in college. So that notion is changing because I believe the parents see what the NFL is doing, like my brother said, but it starts from grassroots. Like he said, those children start playing at a very young, tender age, and there is where the coach helps you. When you have a good coach who teaches you the basis of the game. So, like my boys wanted to play football, and one of them was very rough. I was like, no, it's not about being rough. It's a mental game. It's knowing where and when to attack.
It's almost mathematics too.
It's football, when people come and tell me, what do you enjoy in this game? For me, it's like a chess game. It's a mental game. It's very physical, but most people see the physicality, but that's not what it's about. It's a calculation. It's a chess game for me. That's the way I see football. But talking about the safety, I think it's changing, it's getting better. The NFL is spending the money, the research is going on, and even at the grassroots level, the high school, and even the football youth clubs are putting all the necessary safety guides in there. So I know that some parents are more open to it now. Obviously, we know the physicality, but it's getting better.
Awesome. I think that's great. So it's a yes from both of you to encourage children, especially children of African parents, to play football.
Oh yes, I will tell you, go for it. Awesome. There's so much benefit in it. We look at football. You think about sport. You think that my kids have to make it to the NFL level. That's not just it. Imagine your kids going to school and going on a full scholarship ride. That's enough to just, even if you don't make it to the NFL. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits, so much.
And it also teaches discipline. We'll
yeah.
get into that later.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Ade, I'm going to get to you now. Like I mentioned earlier on, this Super Bowl 57, it's a very, very special one because this is the first time you're having 2 black players, particularly Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs and Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles, playing in the Super Bowl and starting. It has never happened where you have 2 black. I mean, it took a long time before black players played in the Super Bowl took less of starting as a quarterback in the quarterback position. Now, that has never happened in the 57-year history of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And the Super Bowl is, pro football is over 100 years.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about where the black race or where blacks have gotten to in this professional sports?
Sure. I mean, that's a very good question. I mean, if you look at it, right, for me, football is like corporate America. It's a business, right? And it's not just the quarterbacks. Even from a coaching perspective, there's been a lot of talks about where are the black coaches. Now, traditionally, football was all-white game.
Correct.
And now, if you look at it, 52% of the players in the NFL are blacks. We have more black players than the white coaches, right? And after Doug Williams won the Super Bowl decades ago, Donovan McNabb was the second black player, my Eagle quarterback, to ever go back to the Super Bowl.
Count down.
Now, there's a lot of history, right? Now, if you look at the league now, the game has changed. If you look at the league now, the way the black quarterbacks play, the RPOs mean run pass offense, how they play it is different. The black quarterbacks have changed the whole league. They've changed the way the game is being played. And as a result, there are more quarterbacks. So I believe this is just the beginning. It is just the beginning for the black quarterbacks. And that's why we are here now. If you look from when Donovan McNabb came in, Michael Vick came in, and that's, if you look at all these boys I'm talking about, they're all running from the Eagles. They're all coming from the Eagles organization, right?
Oh, yeah.
But now let's get back to your question. I mean, this is history in the moment. And, for the kids out there, this is what encourages them. You need to see somebody and you say, I can also do this. For the next generation coming, when they see this is going to help them and motivate them and all the other quarterbacks in high school and colleges that, yes, this can happen. And I believe it's a great opportunity. This is showing who America is. It gives everyone an opportunity in America. And this is great for the game. This is great for the game.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ade. Henry, there are white quarterbacks that are really, really good. I don't have to go and mention names. Really pretty good white quarterbacks. But we're talking this morning about these two black quarterbacks that have kind of opened or paved the way for a lot of young children, like he said, to say, you know what, I can be that quarterback. I can be that linebacker. I can be that safety, whatever it is. What are your thoughts in regarding two black players starting in Super Bowl 57? Never happened ever in the history of the game. Two black players starting in the quarterback position.
It's awesome. I love it. It can only get better. When I look at the quarterback position, it's like the most important position in the game. You distribute the ball. So seeing two black quarterbacks meeting this time you can never say too much about it. You understand? There used to be a time that you can never see a black quarterback in the NFL, but today we have almost like 32% of the quarterbacks starting in the NFL as being black. We have 11 quarterbacks in the NFL starting. There are 32 teams. We have 11 quarterbacks, which is something monumental to do. It's just you can't say something about it. This quarterback, why we are going there is that why we are improving the way is that most black quarterbacks are what we call a dual threat quarterback. They can throw the ball and they can run the ball. That's where the NFL is going now. Gone are those of you ever see somebody just a pure pocket quarterback, where you sit in the pocket and you shunk the ball. It's changing, and it's changing for the good.
And I like what both of you said. Like the more blacks we see play, not only quarterback, play any position in the NFL, and they play at a high level, I think that's good for the black race, and also that's good for the white race and Caucasians, but particularly for African Americans that are striving to actually break boundaries, especially in a quarterback position, like you both have said. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer that it's a welcoming event for a race.
And one more thing I'm going to hide, do you believe that the last 5 quarterbacks, the last 5 MVPs of the league, 3 of them have been won by black quarterbacks?
Yeah.
If you date back 3 of them. So you can tell there's something special going on. There's real something special going on.
Awesome. So I'll continue with you, Henry. Andy Reid, he's the current Chiefs coach, but he's played with the Eagles. He coached for the Eagles 14 seasons. Do you think that that's an advantage for him, for his Eagles, to beat your Chiefs, or not?
What will I say? I would say that it's not too much of an advantage. Football, being a game, is a different sport, understand? Andy Reid played in the Eagles back, it's been almost 10 years ago, if I get it correct. But most of the players that he played, they already left the Eagles. Football is a game of tactics, a game of you call your numbers, understand? Nobody knows about what the Eagles are, the play call they're going to be calling, other than the people down there, the 57 players that are down there. So if you don't know their play calling, you basically don't really have much an advantage over it. You don't have.
But coaching your opposing team for 14 good seasons. I mean, I think you should have an idea of what the DNA of the organization is. I think
that's what it happens. It can be in some other sport, but in football, it's so much different. Like I tell you, it's a different ball game.
These players come and they go.
They come and go. It's not just they come and go, but the play calling is the most important thing in football. The players down there, they are the one that knows the plays that are going to be called on that day. Nobody else knows it, and the Reid doesn't know it.
But I bet you he has people inside that could tell you. Thank you, Rich. Ade, what are your thoughts?
All right, first, before we go into that, Andy Reid is my favorite coach of all time.
Okay.
I believe he's an offensive genius, and most importantly, what Andy Reid has done for the community. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of the history. When Mike Vick came out, Andy Reid took him in as a son and helped to rehabilitate him, and most importantly, gave him a second chance. And that's what I would never forget. For the city of Philadelphia, Andy Reid was our community cheerleader. But now let's go back to your question about does that give you an opportunity? Andy Reid is an offensive genius. The game has changed from what it was 10 years ago. So whatever you did in Philly then, it's different. What does that, from the Philadelphia Eagles perspective, yes, there's some boys in the league, and like named Kelsey himself was drafted by Andy Reid. Right. So they might have some playbooks from that year back, but I believe the playbooks or the offense Andy Reid ran then is different from what he's doing now, because he's got Mahomes, he's got the best quarterback in the league now, so he's changed his offensive game. So I honestly don't think he gives the Philadelphia Eagles any advantage. I don't think so.
Awesome. Guys, sports lovers, thank you for watching. Please don't go anywhere. We're talking Super Bowl 57 happening in the city of Scottsdale, Arizona today. In a few hours, I have with me Henry and I have with me Ade. They're both Eagles and the Chiefs fans. They're knocking it out today here at the studios. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
Life is warfare. That's why when children are born, they don't come with broad smile. They came out of the womb with loud cry. Life is warfare, but there is a wisdom to winning the warfare of life. You cannot defeat the devil in the dark. And if God seems far away from you, defeat is sure in spiritual warfare. Winning the wisdom in warfare. Number one, switch on the light by making sure God is present in all of your affairs. Have healthy living. Don't be quarrelsome and fighting everybody. You can't win warfare like that. And make sure whenever negative thoughts come to your heart, speak the word of God. to it and counter it.
To listen to the concluding part of this message and other inspiring messages, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at King's Palace TV and follow our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You are also invited to join us this Sunday virtually via YouTube and Facebook, or physically at 5371 East 5th Street, Katy, Texas 77493. Our first service, Hour of Power, is at 9 a.m. and our second service, Glory to Glory, is at 10 a.m. We are waiting to welcome you.
Welcome back, sports lovers, specifically football lovers. We're talking the Super Bowl 57 happening in Scottsdale, Arizona today in a few hours. Again, I have my two friends, my brothers here with me, just battling it out between the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, so Ade, I'm going to go to you for the next questions. You know, the two brothers in the NFL, Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. The Chiefs tight end is Travis and Jason is the Eagles center. Two brothers playing against one another in the Super Bowl. Never happened before. The truth is, one person will win and the other person sadly will lose.
Sure.
But the family should be very happy because at least one person will win. In your opinion, what do you have to say about the sibling rivalry, especially at the highest level of pro football?
All right. In this scenario, the Kelce brothers both have won a Super Bowl before.
Correct.
Because Jason won with the Eagles a couple of years ago, and Travis also won with the Chiefs some years ago. So I think it's just a little more ego bragging rights. You know, I got one, you got two. At the end of the day, you know.
Reminds me of Shaq and Kobe.
Correct. And honestly, I don't think this is the first time we've seen this at the NFL. Maybe playing, but as a coach, John and Jim Harbaugh had to duke it out some years ago.
Yeah, correct.
That was Baltimore and San Francisco 49ers, and one of them won, right? But in this case, you know, they both got one. It's just the time of numbers. I got two, you got one. It's going to be a good game. I saw their mom last week on the screen. She had a Chiefs jersey in front and an Eagles at the back, you know. And she brought them cookies. They're like, she's like, I'm always going to cheer for the winner or the offensive. They both play offense. So it's going to be good, you know, bragging right on the table for the siblings. But at the end of the day, I think because they both have one each, I don't think it makes it. I think they'll be okay. If they didn't get any before, it might be a different scenario.
Awesome. Thank you, Ade. Henry, what do you think?
I think one of the things I'm going to highlight is that, like you said, I saw the mother too on TV, and he has the jersey with the Kansas City at the front and
the Eagles at the back. Yeah.
What does that tell you? That the Eagles she herself believes the Kansas City are winning. That's what I see. And also,
we're going to show you.
And also on the lighter side, both of them are offensive players.
Correct.
So they're not going to be actually playing against each other. That's the other thing. They're not going to. They hardly play against each other because they're on the offensive side of it. It's going to be a fun game.
I don't think so. The Eagles are going to have a trick game. Philly cheese. And yeah, Kelce brother's going to catch the ball in the head.
Well, it should be a good game overall. Like both of you have said, hey, nobody loses here, nobody wins.
Yeah.
Really, because you know, the same family, if one person wins, I mean, they both have had one in the past, so it's not a big deal. Ade, next question. You know, a fraction of football fans are saying that the Phillies defense will be exposed by the Chiefs offense. Your team plays good defense, and I think they play pretty good offense. And a lot of people are speculating, or they're saying that his offense will trash your defense. What do you have to say?
Oh, well, Patrick Mahomes, I believe, is the best quarterback in the league right now. But guess what? We're ready. Bring it on. Let me tell you what the game plan is going to be. Our front four, we're just going to rush him. We got the best front four in the league right now. So guess what that means? Is receivers are all going to be doubled. Meaning, where's the ball going to go? Unfortunately, Patrick's ankle, it's not great at this moment. So meaning what? He can't really run. So our front four are going to put him in a lot of pressure.
So So is that an excuse that his ankle is beat up?
It's not. My quarterback shoulder hurts. But guess what? It's not an excuse. We're going to put it all out there for you guys. And as you can see, you see what happened last few weeks to the San Francisco quarterbacks. You saw what my front four did to the two quarterbacks. Patrick, be warned. Be warned. We're coming after you. There's going to be sacks all over the field.
Henry, what do you have to say? He's so fired up. Can your offense trash his defense?
We're talking about Patrick Mahomes. It's one of the 8 wonders of the world.
Wow.
Even with one leg, he can do wonders, understand? This is a guy that you don't know where he's going. You don't know. He can use the whole offensive line, the whole offensive, the receivers. He can do it with a leg. Unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit limited, but I would take a 60% Patrick Mahomes to any quarterback in the league right now.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
It's a bold statement from me.
60%
Patrick
Mahomes than any quarterback, including his quarterback.
Right on the league now.
At 100%.
I'm telling you.
Well,
because it's magical.
Like I said, Patrick might be the best QB in the league now. But guess what? He's not going to be the only man in that field on that day. My cornerbacks, my safeties, my DBs will be ready for you. He's going to go. Can Patrick stand in the pocket with the best rush of defense?
Bring it up.
We're going to bring it up. Get ready. You're going to go pick up Patrick on the field. He's going to be so sacked, banged up by the end of this game when we lift up the Lombardi Trophy.
You can only hit what you see. Huh?
You can only hit what you see, so he's too fast.
He's too fast, he's too magical, he's Patrick Mahomes, let me tell you.
All right.
It's a phenomenon in this game.
I'm still shocked by you saying that. You would take a 60% Patrick, then 100% quarterback of anyone in the Super Bowl, or even in football. Okay, that's a bold statement. I'll still stick with you, Henry. Do you think any team has an advantage, and why?
There are a couple of, to me, the Kansas City has an advantage.
Okay.
From my perspective, they've been there. They've been there, they've done it.
I mean, they both have been there.
They've all better, but when talking about continuity, this team has been there with almost the same, except 1 or 2 players, understand? And to me, they have one of the best coaches in the league right now, Andy Reid. He's an offensive genius. He knows what to do.
So you're saying
with Patrick, with Harry Burney, the offensive coordinator too.
Yeah.
They know place to call. It's just, I think experience matters. Experience, the Kansas City Chiefs are more experienced. They've been to this, the last 5 seasons, they've been, it's how they are the conference championship or they're in the Super Bowl. This is the 3rd Super Bowl in the last 5 seasons.
And they've kept the core.
Pretty much the core.
Yeah.
They lost Tyreek Hill,
yeah.
And they thought they were going to go down. No. Patrick Mahomes has more passing yards this year, even without Hill. So it tells you something. They've revitalized this game. They've changed it in a way that you can only see it to believe it.
Awesome. We need to change your last name to Mahomes, so we'll call you Henry Mahomes because you're so passionate about this dude. Adi, what do you think? Which of both teams have an advantage, and why particularly so?
So, like he said, Kansas City has been there in a couple of times lately. So they've been there. They know what the game looks like. They've been under the spotlights. And they're used to it. I hate to use that word, but they've been there multiple times, so they know what to expect. But that advantage means nothing on that day. Because I can guarantee you, they almost got lucky at the AFC Championship.
So they probably would not have made it.
Right, they probably would have. So all I'm saying is being there multiple times means nothing. Tom Brady got beat at the Super Bowl, even though it's been there so many times. So guess what? As much as Kansas City might have been there or they have the experience, the Eagles are complete on all ends. The running game, offense, defense, cornerback, safety, they are a complete team. That's why I'm giving it to the Eagles this time around.
Awesome. How about your fan base?
Oh my God, you don't want to go there. You don't want to talk about the Philly fans.
Because the fans have they have a way of influencing the game. And
The Philly fans are the most passionate fans in America.
Come on, man.
We boo Santa.
We're talking about going.
You can't. No, we can't argue that. In any game, if it comes to basketball, baseball, and when you now talk of football, the national game, the Philly fans are the best fans in the whole world. I can guarantee you that. You could Google it right now.
The game is not happening in Philly.
It doesn't matter.
The game is not happening in Philly. It's happening.
Now,
it's a neutral ground.
we've painted Phoenix green. Have you been to Phoenix now? Let's step outside. Let's go outside. All you're going to see is green. All my Eagles boys, we flew in. The Eagles fly. We fly. We flew in. We flew in.
You wish. You wish.
It's all great.
You wish.
At the end of the night, when we raised the Lombardi trophy, and we painted the city green, did you see what happened? When the Eagles won the NFC, Empire Building turned all green.
How many years
They turned all green. Even New York, and guess what? They are Philly rivals because we're in the same division. They painted the city green. That tells you a lot.
Shift all the way.
All right?
How about them Chiefs?
The Eagles are going to fly into the Chiefs' kingdom and take over the Chiefs' kingdom.
All right, guys. In fact, you guys are diehard fans, and I could tell the heat is on. The game is going to happen in a couple of hours. We're so excited. We're pumped. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and we'll be talking predictions, right? We'll be talking predictions. We're going to see at the end of the day which of these two gentlemen's team will leave the Lombardi trophy. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Super Bowl 57 happening in Scottsdale, Arizona. We'll be right back.
To see if the present location is the ordained location for you. We therefore must know bus stops and divine location of God. If you settle down at a bus stop and abandon the journey to your destination, you are about to truncate your destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, cross-posting can be as occasion demands for you. Transfer can be as occasion demands. But even as occasion is demanding that, you are making sure that you nail it in the place of prayer with God.
To listen to the concluding part of this message and other inspiring messages, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Kings Palace TV and follow our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You are also invited to join us this Sunday virtually via YouTube and Facebook, or physically at 5371 East 5th Street, Katy, Texas 77493. Our first service, Hour of Power, is at 9 a.m. and our second service, Glory to Glory, is at 10 a.m. We are waiting to welcome you.
Welcome back, sports lovers, specifically football fans across the world. Super Bowl 57 happening in Scottsdale, Arizona. We're talking the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Henry versus Ade. It's been crazy. They've been going at it, and this is my favorite part of the show, where we predict who's going to go home at the end of the night with the trophy. Which of you wants to start?
I'll go first, because we're going to lift the trophy.
Ooh,
I'll go first.
He's so sure. All right, so Ade, tell us. you've been very, very particularly excited and just all pumped for your Eagles team.
Sure.
By what margin do you think they're going to win, if at all you believe your team will beat his team?
I'm predicting 28-24. Eagles win.
Oh, that's a bold one.
Yeah,
28-24 Eagles.
I think it's going to be a close game.
Why?
And the reason is we won't give the ball to Patrick. Patrick is going to be sitting on the bench. That's our game plan. We would run the ball, chew up the clock, because Patrick is 8th wonder of the world. If he gets the ball, he's going to score. So we're going to have him on the bench. He's going to be resting for a good amount of time. But overall, we're not underdogs in this game. I remember years ago when we won our last Super Bowl, we played against Tom Brady, and they thought, oh, Eagles had no chance. Similar scenario, we're playing against Patrick. He's been there a couple of times. We're going to give him the Philly special game. That's how we're going to handle the game. Philly special. And we're going to serve it to Kansas City, and that's how we're going to win the game. 28-24, Eagles win.
So you're going to serve it to them like it's hot.
Exactly, with some cheese on it. Some cheese, make it cheesy.
There you
make
go,
it cheesy.
there you go. All right, Henry, what's your take?
Oh man, you can't believe I have the same prediction. But going to the
Oh, I thought you were going to say the same Eagles
it's going
win.
to be 28-24.
wow.
So
Wow.
28-24.
It's going to come down the game. It's going to come down to the last possession of the game. It's going to be in Patrick Mahomes. It's going to drive all the way down and score a touchdown.
But
No, that last possession will be a Philly cheesesteak being served to you
It's
guys.
going to be the very last possession of the game. It's going to drive all the way down and score a touchdown. It's going to be 4 touchdowns to Kansas City and 3 touchdowns Eagles with a field goal. That's going to be 28-24.
But he's trying to keep your Patrick on the bench.
You can't keep him on the bench all the time, forever. He's going to have I'm pretty sure he's going to have the last possession of the game. And it's going to drive all the way down with no time remaining.
Are you going to let him have the last possession of the game?
I don't think so. My defense will be ready. My DBs will be ready for you. Patrick is going to be on the bench, remember. After
We're ready.
After they sack him a couple of times,
We're
you
ready.
see him on the bench.
Even if it is on one leg, he's going to drive the balls right through you.
It says 60% Patrick will bring home the trophy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Guess what, brother? I brought my ticket. We're going to Broad Street. We're going down Broad Street. We're going down Broad Street to celebrate in a couple of days.
How about the Chiefs?
All right, fans, this has been amazing just talking to my two brothers and friends. They love each other. We all love each other. And we certainly do love you. It's the Eagles versus the Chiefs happening in Scottsdale, Arizona. Before we wrap up the show, we've been talking vision throughout the month of February 2023. And both teams have a vision. And that vision is to win, right? And this vision did not start, right after they made it to the Super Bowl. This vision started even before the regular season. Again, typically my co-host Tunde Badger should be giving this, but again, I've been deputized to say this. I'll tell you guys out there, please have a vision. Make sure you stick with the vision. Habakkuk 2:3, which is one of my favorite scriptures, says, "The vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarries, wait for it, it'll not lie." It'll come. Make sure you have a vision. For all those young folks out there that want to play football, that want to play football the right way, that want to play basketball, that want to be doctors, that want to be nurses, that want to be teachers, whatever it is that you want to be in life, please have a vision. Write that vision down. Work towards that vision. Get all the help you need. Make sure that your vision, I have a vision board where I write things down and I paste it by my bedside. I see those things every day. It's on my phone. You want to make sure you have a vision. And that's how you succeed in life. That's how you make it in life, with the help of God as well, of course. So we want to thank you again very much for watching this show today. Please don't forget to subscribe on all our social media platforms. Like this social media platform, the YouTube or Facebook, whatever platform you're watching on. Do not forget to subscribe. We love you, and we hope to see you shortly. We hope the Kansas City Chiefs win, and we still hope the Eagles win as well. Either ways, we're okay. Either ways, we're happy. Either ways, we're brothers. We're friends. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm Oladimeji Oladele. Thank you very much, Henry. Thank you.
How about them Chiefs?
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.